Well, hey everybody, how are you today? I thought we would do a little more testing in 3.17. Hope that you're doing well. It is a beautiful day in northern Michigan. It's an open the window on the office day. We'll see how that works out. And honestly, I don't know how today will work out because I've done a lot of testing in 3.17 and hand mining, when I tested it, didn't seem to work right. You could cook the rocks, but they wouldn't explode into the gems. And last night I spent some time ROC mining, and I couldn't get any of the hand minables to actually get to a place where you could get any kind of scan results from them. So yeah, it's going to be interesting. Now certainly I have done my fair share of prospector style mining in 3.17 with the mining gadgets, but I haven't gone out to the air in Halo. So that's what I thought we would do today to start with, is head to the air in Halo and see how it's working in this iteration of 3.17. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. Getting started a touch late today, I'll tell you. I was hoping to be streaming just a little earlier. No big deal. That's life, and we're going to roll with it. So beautiful VK00 drive. I do have the FLTR XL and a couple of brands. That's my go-to, and we will go ahead and pull the prospector.
Welcome to the ASOP Vehicle Retrieval System.
And out the prospector comes.
Stand by.
And yeah, we're going to take a ride over to the air in Halo today and see how that goes. And do a little testing over there. Now, I'm not expecting to have to use a mining gadget over there per se. There aren't going to be too many rocks that are outside of the wheelhouse. At least I would imagine that. Hey, Chris, good morning, sir. How are you? Nice to see you. How have you been? Thank you for joining today. So, my 11-year-old, soon to be 12, he dialed up my coffee. He put a little cream, a little sugar in there for me today, and he did a fantastic job. It is absolutely delicious. So yeah, here we are in 3.17, the PTU, and this time we're going to sneak out to the air in Halo and see what's happening out there. Now, I don't know if you can scan rocks or not scan rocks. I've certainly have heard different things, but we're just going to go give it a try. I mean, that's what we do. We're just kind of doing whatever testing we can. I know that there's like I said, the hand mining loop is kind of not in a great place, and the ROC mining, at least for myself last night, was not in a great place. We'll see how the stream goes today. We might try a little of that ROC mining again. Chris Bates says, I've been good. It's a beautiful day. It's a beautiful day up here too, Chris. I gotta be honest. It is absolutely gorgeous. It's open the window weather in northern Michigan, and when that happens, it's a good thing. Why is my mining laser out when I don't recall hitting M? What the heck? It just dawned on me. Oh, that's funny. All right, so we'll do a little this, little that, little this, and then I actually think it was out because I probably stored it. Oh, cool! Refuel in progress. Don't lift off. That's kind of interesting, isn't it? I think I will overclock just because I can. I think I will overclock the old Lancer. This is still not not lost. And what's going on now? It's out. What? You can do it. Oh, I bet you maybe the engines have to be on.
Engines off.
Oh, the engines were on. All right.
Engines on.
Who knows? Well, I used to be able to do that, and it was great. Let's see. Oh, yeah, we'll do self status on that for now. No big deal. Hey, and look at this, you guys. And you won't be able to tell. Hey, there's a prospector coming in. That's actually a Hull A. Look at that. That's a Hull A coming in. Ooh, fun. That is a Hull A. My first time I've seen a Hull A. Hey, good morning, Clement. How are you? Nice to see you. Wow, that's my first Hull A I've ever seen. Here's the good news, guys. I'm at my sticks. So, I did, you know, and it was actually just one. It was just a couple of files. I think I only did one file, but yeah, it wasn't too difficult to map, and got my sticks mapped. So here's what we're gonna do to head to the Iron Halo. We're gonna head towards HURL5, and we're gonna drop out at 7.7. Now hold on a second though. Let's look at the VK00. What was? Ooh, 583, 292. I don't know. Oh, we're not going the whole distance, though. Interesting. The VK00's range isn't great. And you can definitely see... yeah, we'll have to kind of keep an eye on that before we... I'll set the marker on the way back and make sure we have enough fuel to get back. BL Chicken. BL, how you doing? Chicken or steak? Oh, hey. Oh, the Hull A is so small. You're right, BL. I don't know why I said BL Chicken. That makes me laugh. So BL, both. I mean, we grill all the time here. Absolutely grill all the time. And you know, first of all, absolutely, I brine chicken breast. You know, we always throw that in a brine, a salt brine, it's about 2 hours before you throw it on the grill. If you take chicken breast and you throw it in a brine of like 1 cup of salt, 1 cup of sugar, just mix that up really well and throw all your chicken breast in there about 2 hours before you throw them on. Go ahead and pull them out of the brine right before you throw them on the grill and just hit them with SPG, salt, pepper, garlic, and then throw them on the grill. Holy mackerel, they're like 10 times more juicy. So, and you know, and we just smoke the chicken breasts. Those are fantastic. But steak, of course, is steak, and it's absolutely delicious. Yeah, the Hull A is very small. I agree with that. Clement says, I tried to overclock the mole with the Lancet size 2. It doesn't work on 316. You know, it's been a little bit of a mixed bag, Clement, since I will tell you, like, I just tried to overclock here in 317, and it worked the other day, and it didn't work today. So, hard to say. You know, it's one of those things. Now, I did overclock the prospector laser in 316 the other day. So we're going to drop out here at 7.7. That's where we're going to drop out. So I'm going to watch here. Let's see. 7, 8, right here. Yeah, this is where we're going to drop out. Now, I didn't drop out in the thickest part of it here. That's okay. We'll go ahead and look at ArcCorp. We'll set route. Yeah, we got plenty of fuel. So I think what I will do is, well, let's just hit tab and see what we get. Okay, well, we're getting hits out this way. Let's just go ahead and take a look. Interesting. So this is my first time in the Iron Halo in 3.17. So it's just going to be interesting to see. I certainly didn't pick the thickest part of the Halo, and that's okay. We can kind of shift around a little bit if we want to hit a different band or two. But I just want to make sure right off the bat, I don't want to spend a lot of time at this if we can't find anything to. Yeah, you can see that that's definitely a rock right there, but it like went off. This is what I was wondering if it was happening here. Oh, now that's interesting. It did turn into rocks at that point. So, yeah, so... Oh, and that's actually Quantanium, you guys. So that's kind of interesting. But they seem to be dead rocks. So let's just give it a sec, and let's just see if something happens magically to fix that. Now, of course, dead rocks aren't necessarily, you know, those are things that you do see. Ernie P, good morning. How are you, Ernie? Nice to see you. Yeah, dead rocks are definitely a thing that you see in the Iron Halo. But what I was hearing in 3.17 is that BL, boo. You know, what I was hearing in 3.17 is that, yeah, you just... No, you know, there were not, you know, the rocks were not mostly scannable. So let's go ahead and we'll take a look. You know, I'm going to look at, you know, maybe 3 or 4 sets of just... And it doesn't even matter at this point. I'm not looking for specifically for Quantanium. I'm just wondering if any of the rocks are going to allow us to scan them. Ernie P says, doing good, brother. And then BL says, power cycle as well may assist with that. Yeah, I've heard that power cycle thing, and I'm not opposed to it. I'll give it a try here in a minute, BL, for sure. Let me just kind of see if any rocks are scannable. Now, that one's definitely going to be scannable. So it looks like, yeah, that's interesting. This is a P-type, and you can see right off the bat, I could see that one. So let's just kind of go ahead. Those must have, you know, we must have just had, you know, kind of got onto some dead rocks there. And I'll kind of head back over to them. And we will power, I think it's this way. We will power cycle one time and see if that makes a difference. I don't think that it will, but I could be wrong, and I would be really happy if I was wrong, considering that it's a couple Quantanium rocks, you know. So, and you know, right off the bat, I mean, so yeah. So here we are. We're gonna go ahead and just boom, power down. Power up. I'll also jump out of the seat. Do the dance around the old chair a little bit. Kind of some of those things you do to try and get things to work, and it just so happens that these look like they're it just so happens that these look like they're just kind of dead rocks, and that's no problem. It's totally fine. Let's just make sure we still have our... We do. Good. Alright, well, we'll just kind of keep... We'll definitely keep ARC L1 at our 12 o'clock, and we'll just kind of mess around here a little bit. And you can see, like I said, I didn't come out at the thickest part of the old halo here. Let me do something here. I'm going to actually untag this. I'm going to go to HURL5 again, and let me just kind of look back at that. Let's just kind of get, I'm just going to grab a distance real quick. So I am 7.6. All right, so I want to head back just a touch more towards Argal 1. We're just going to, I want to get into just a little bit thicker part of the halo. No big deal. And we will do that real quick. I did set that, right? Yeah, I did. Clement says, with the V-scan, you can scan them from 4km. It's true, and I definitely will do some of that. I just was wondering if they would scan at all. That's absolutely correct. You can scan them from a pretty good distance. There we go. Well, that's interesting. I wasn't seeing like the little pip or whatever. No big deal. We're going to go here to about 5.8. Yeah, this is what I was talking about. A little thicker part of the halo here. This is kind of where I wanted to be. You know, I'm not worried about too crazy with the bands, but yeah, I thought I'd get into a little bit thicker part. It might just be a little funner here. Yeah, definitely with the V-scan, I'll do that from a distance. PL says, I hope they kind of get inspired by the asteroid belts from EVE Online. The rocks can get huge. Yeah, this part of the halo here does have much bigger rocks. And I wouldn't necessarily say they're, you know, the super enormous, you know, but yeah, they definitely are a little bigger. Yeah, and you can see though, if you look, what's interesting here, right, you guys? Okay, let's talk about this. This scanning is a little awkward. So I have a rock right out in front of me at 4,000, right? Now, I'd normally use my V-scan on it, and I probably can, maybe. But I don't think I can. And if you watch, like, once, like, I can't see the rock. Like, it's not, there's no pip on it, so I can't see it. Now, I'll have to get in with, I think they've got the scanning a little messed up right now. Watch. I'll have to get in within 1,000 before it will draw the rock icon. And I mean this in the most respectful sense. I mean, you know, I adore this game, but you can see the rock right there. Like, I don't know how I'm supposed to scan it out at that distance with V-scan if I can't see it, if I don't know exactly where it is, because if you don't put the scanner directly on it, it's not going to scan. And look at this particular case, I'm holding it down. Now it is rescanning again. But I'm not getting any scanning results at all. So yeah, it's definitely kind of it got it in kind of an awkward place right now. And it's only this iteration of the PTU. I'm not, you know, terribly worried about it. I'm just kind of speaking to what's happening at the moment. So just so everybody's on board, you know, I went and did some hand mining earlier, not on the stream, but I cooked a rock and it wouldn't break. And then I tried to do some ROC mining, and none of the ROC minables would get to the spot where you could actually scan them. And then, you know, now I'm out here in the Halo, and like I said, we'll do it again. Watch, you know. Normally, normally Clement is absolutely right? You would use your V-scan at about 5,000 or something. But let's play the scenario out again. So here I'm approaching this 60, you know, this 6,000, you know, away, and watch, it'll eventually just kind of disappear. I don't even know which rock it is. I don't know where the rock is. I can't scan. You can't put it on the box. But like if I keep flying towards it, eventually I think I'll get a rock icon. I hope. Yeah, and that's what I'm talking about. See how like there's no way to know how to do the scan on that thing. And then when I am doing the scanning on the thing, I am getting some results there, but I'm not getting the actual. You can see I'm getting the mass and stuff, but I definitely am not getting anything else. Now the instability is pretty high on this rock, so it does make me wonder. Let's see here. Chris Bates says, spending at least a week in the PTU should be a requirement for anyone looking to join a professional mining organization. Testing their skills and equipment is a must, especially with new stuff. I love it. Hey, Sandy Claus, you know, Chris, I don't disagree. You know, certainly knowing your equipment is really well. Jazzy Cat, good morning. Yeah, that's not good. BL, exactly. I think you kind of are catching on. You know, if you do a little, you know, yeah, it's not, I wouldn't say it's great, right? I mean, I wouldn't call it ideal. Now, this does look like it's Quantanium to me, to be honest with you. And this is actually a really nice rock. It's a 35%er. So we're going to actually mine this thing because I haven't really done any real mining per se. So this is actually a really nice rock. This is a 51 at 35. So this could potentially be a decent load of Quantanium. So here's the good news. I mean, we haven't been in a Halo very long, and we found some Quantanium to mine. We'll see how this goes. But yeah, anyways, the scanning mechanics are a little... I'm in the PTU, Sandy. The scanning mechanics are a little wonky. So Doe says, greetings. Want to see the 3.17 Halo action and learn what's up with this patch? Thank you for streaming. No problem, Doe. Rambo Mims, how you doing today, Rambo? I always hit tap to quick scan, and it shows the location of the rocks faster. I'm assuming you mean tab, Rambo. Help, if you want to, if you clarify that. I think that's what you meant. All right, so we're gonna mine this guy, right? Because it is a mining stream, and even though it isn't 3.17, now you can see I tucked the left part of the UI, the charge level, on the dark to get myself a little contrast. And so we'll kind of crank up here and go after it. Yep, tab, I gotcha. But I'll show you guys, it's interesting. Peter Pindell says, I can't wait for 3.17 to drop so I can get back to real mining. Peter, I'm right there with you. It's so funny because today, I knew hand mining was not working great in the PTU, and I was going to do some ROC mining. One thing I will tell you guys, I did some testing yesterday, and I was just kind of curious because I'd never done it before. if loading the ROC was going to be fidgety in the Nomad or just kind of acting wonky in the Nomad, man, the Nomad is a very solid rock carrier in 3.17. You just back that thing right on there, turn off your engines, get out, and go jump in your... I mean, it is a quick way to kind of get your ROC, you know, in and out of a ship. I mean, I kind of enjoyed that. The only problem was I spent all, you know, like about an hour on Aberdeen, and I could not get one mineable to actually mine. Like, they didn't even, like, you could drive through them, like the rocks weren't even there. Like, they weren't procedurally generating correctly. So hand mining didn't work, ROC mining didn't work, and so I didn't want to do my traditional just Lyria mining today. So I thought, you know what, I hadn't been out to the air in Halo in 3.17, let's do that, you know, so that's what we're up to. So we're building some energy into this 5122. This is a 35.32% Quantanium rock. Nice, certainly a nice Quantanium rock. BL says 3.17 isn't ready. Jack was flying a ship inside the station the other day. You know, BL, I first of all, let me tell you, I really enjoy Jack's streams. You know, I sneak onto those probably more often than people would know. I mean, if there's any one streamer in particular that I really kind of enjoy, it's Jack. I mean, he's just such a personable guy. I love his stream, and you know, I was hoping to kind of create something like the mining version of his cargo stream. You know, I know he does other stuff too, but I really like Jack's streams. Rambo says, "Can you load a rock in the Cutlass?" Like, absolutely, Rambo, and that's what I've traditionally done. And there's an argument to be made. You know, it's $80 if you're buying, $80 for the Nomad, $100 for the Cuddy. You know, there's an argument to be made that the Cuddy is a superior vehicle. You know, I mean, it's got more SCU, the 46, as opposed to the 24. It's got the size 2 quantum drive. I mean, the Cuddy Black is that's a really good ship. Sandy Claus, the Nomad seems way faster than the Cuddy for unloading. Yes, it is. The Nomad's kind of interesting in the fact that it's much faster to get the ROC kind of off the platform and then back in. It's really simple. Rambo Men says, cool. Daniel DeCruz, how are you doing today? Nice. That looks like a nice rock. It's not too bad, 5122 at 35%. Here's the one good news, you guys. Look how clean the UI does look, though. I mean, the UI does look a lot cleaner in 3.17 for sure. BL says Jack is a good dude. He really is a good dude. Yeah, I agree with that 100%, BL. And then Sandy Claus, I like a lot of the Astropub stuff too. I watch Astropub. I absolutely do. I mean, the Galactic Historian. How can you not watch him? I mean, he's good. Info Runners. I watch those guys for sure. I do keep up with some Salty Mike stuff. I mean, I kind of keep an eye on all the content creators. Red Monster Gaming does really good mining stuff. Way better, like way higher quality content. You know, it's so funny, you guys. I love streaming, and I think the streaming part of it, I think I handle pretty well. The video editing stuff, I am just terrible at that. I am just like a kindergartner in a room full of professors. Like, I am, it's so funny, like, I definitely do not have the eye for video. I mean, I like making videos, and I think that there are PSA stuff that I just feel like you guys should know, so I do them. But man, I think my videos, I got a lot of learning to do. I probably should get into Premiere instead of the one that I use. So, well, that was an easy break. Not too shabby there. Now that's a good sign, right? When your first rock has nothing in it. Yeah, Santa Claus says Red Monster has pretty good tutorials. I couldn't agree more. I mean, he does. He's got some really good. BL says your streams are good. I appreciate that. That's yes. I seem to be doing okay at this part of the game for sure. So, alrighty. So that's a 13%er. This was a 100%er right there. This is going to be nothing. So this broke clean, you guys. This really broke clean. Now it's funny when I say nothing. There's borates in those nothings, which is which is not nothing to be too shabby about. So this is another 100%er, and what's going to be down in here? Potentially another one. Sandy says, I use DaVinci Resolve. I should probably look at DaVinci as well. Ernie P says, I've seen all your videos. To be honest, I love them. I learned a bunch. Thank you, Ernie. I appreciate that. You know, I think the content is good in the videos. I definitely, like I said, it's kind of like when I'm going to pick certain things, I'm always like, this kind of looks, I don't know. It doesn't look as professional as others, but that's okay. I'm okay with it, and I think everybody else seems to be okay with it. So here's what we got, right? We've got this 905, that's 100%. That's 18 SCU. We've got this 709, that's 14 SCU. So those two right there, if I break them down, that is, once again, 18 SCU, and that is 14 SCU. So those two rocks right there should fill me up. Now, and I could always break down this other one if I need it. This thing broke clean, though, you guys. So let's just kind of go ahead and... Oh, I don't want to go that way. I want to go with the sun on my back. We're just going to break these two here. I'm going to get into a good range. We're in optimal. And I'll pop a Brant if I need it here for sure, and I may. Ernie P says, just downloaded DaVinci Resolve. I need to check out DaVinci for sure. Sandy Claus says, question, is the meta on Lyria of clusters always... Yep, it is. And it's a great question. Sandy says, is the meta, like, for everything being a cluster on Lyria still a thing? It absolutely is. That's been my experience for sure. We're just going to build some energy close to the green. And once we get in... I'll just go ahead and fire a Brant, and we'll kind of take the edge off here, and we'll just kind of get it up into the green and get her going. So beautiful. Oh, that's funny. There's a little noise as it went into the green, like a little chirp that I'd never heard before. It's kind of fun. They have really done a good job with this UI. It looks super crisp compared to 3.17 or 3.16. So you got to take, you know, the one thing you got to take your improvements where you can. I mean, some things are, you know, not working as great, but certainly some things are looking a lot better. So this is a good break here. There goes 18 SCU of pure Quantanium, and we're going to go over on this guy. Now, I have this rule that if you can hurry up and get your, you know, get up into the optimal before 30 seconds on the Brant, you might be able to do two rocks, one Brant, but you got to be careful. You cook it up there quick. You got to drop it out pretty fast. So we got in there pretty close to that little rule of mine. We'll go ahead and see how this goes. Ranbo Mim says, I found a group of 5 30-plus QT rocks on Lyria yesterday. 5 of them that had 30-plus in it. Wow. I'll tell you, Rambo, the biggest cluster I ever found had, and I didn't say I ever found, that we ever found collectively as a group, was the one that had 240 SCU in it. And that sounds like it may have had more. So that's a very, very, very good. So we're going to go to extracting here. If my math is right, I think there's you know, I think that there should be a darn near a, if not for sure, a unicorn here, you guys. So our first time we actually mined in 3.17, we pulled a uni. Maybe. Wonder if there are any big rocks in the Halo 3. That's one of the things Doe was asking the same question I was with myself. Is I wonder if they've increased the meta, right, or changed the meta where there are actually rocks bigger than 5122 in the Iron Halo. And I would say, I think at first blush, I think that's a no, Doe. And the only reason is because this rock was 5122. I think it was. I think this was a max size 5122. So. You know, and I haven't seen any bigger than that. So, Sandy Claus says, QuantCalc plug. You know, not a bad idea. You guys, we do have, it's a link in the description below. We have an app that's on the Google Play Store. It's $1, and it actually is really awesome at, if you put in a mass and a percentage, it will tell you how much SCU of Quantanium is in a rock. But also you can add more and more rocks. So you can do a whole cluster of rocks. Yep, look at that, you guys. That's a uni right there. So yeah, for Buck, it's it's there. It is coming for iOS. We don't have it for iOS yet. I'm going to back away from this rock here, and I'm going to look for Arcal 1. Okay, they're starting to get some. All right, we're kind of head that way. We'll spool up this drive, and I haven't even dropped anything in the hopper yet in 3.17, so this will be kind of fun. But yeah, anyways, yeah, QuantCalc is it's a great little application. You know, it's a $1 app. It's an early release, and you can use it to kind of quickly calculate on your phone. You know, just kind of bang in a mass, bang in a percentage, and it will tell you how much percentage of stuff is in there. So. Well, the first run in the Air and Halo is in the books. We did pulled a uni, and I am very happy about that. That's not a bad thing. I had heard that there was a moment or a patch that potentially you couldn't scan rocks at all in the Air and Halo. So they certainly did, you know, and the first couple that I ran across you couldn't scan, but the other ones that were there you could scan, which was great. I mean, it ended up being really good. So back to Arcal 1 we go. We're going to, kind of check the refining process. We haven't had a chance to do that. The one thing I'll have to try and remember is the most deadly thing in the verse right now, at least for me, is the refining elevator. When you come down, when you try to leave, the elevator just knocks me to my death. It's done it like, I've been in the refinery 5 times, and 4 of the 5 times as the elevator kind of ghosts past you, it's actually physically hitting my character model and knocking me to my death. You know? So I have to, now I always, like a creature of habit, I always go to the left. You know, when I'm running back down the refinery, I always curve to the left. So I'm going to try to remember to curve to the right this time. So, and try that one and see if that one will do the same thing. I mean, I wouldn't imagine it would be any different, but who knows? You know, you got to try different use cases or whatever. And I'm definitely like 80% of the time, the elevator kills me trying to leave the refinery right now. So it's kind of one of those funny things I'm kind of curious about. All right. So here we go. Arcal 1. We're going to do second quantum here. Awesome. Come in here at a reasonable clip. You know, probably around 300 or 400. And we will, we'll cruise on in. So beautiful Saturday. What a great way. What a nice opener. You know, getting an Air and Halo unicorn the very first time we actually mined. Now, I did a lot of testing of the mining gadgets, but this is the first time I actually mined in 3.17. And we have 32 SCU of Quantanium on board, our first trip out to the Air and Halo, so we're just loving it. Frosty, hello! How are you doing, Frosty? Good to see you. Clement says, when you pinged in the belt, there was way more asteroids to scan that appeared than in 3.16. Yeah, I mean, pinging is definitely one of those things where it does kind of puts that ping, you know, on every rock. At least that's the way it's worked for me traditionally. Oh, here's the good news, you guys. I just do one button push. Just all I did is just hit one button.
Please proceed to assign.
And that's the greatest thing right there. I just clicked a button. I didn't have to open up a thing. The best quality of life issue at all in 3.17 right there. Love it. It's that alone. If they just patch that one thing, you know, the call for landing patch, you know, it's that one thing is just makes life so much better. All right, we're gonna kind of bring this thing in reasonable and proper.
Landing gear down.
Beautiful landing. Loved it. And we will go ahead and do our post-flight stuff. Kill the engines. And back out we go. Sandy Claus says, what did you, set your call to? I set it to delete. I don't know that anything else was on delete. When I looked inside the, it looked like delete wasn't a used key for whatever reason, so I just set it to delete for now. Now, I'm actually going to map it onto my stick at some point, but I just, it's such a dream just hitting one key. I thought I'd go with that for a little while. And all right, so we're going to go in. We're going to store the prospector. We are going to head down to the refinery and throw this in the hopper. Now, I'm not expecting to, I'm not trying to make money here in the PTU, but I haven't tested any of that stuff yet, so I thought it would be good to do. So 32 SCU of Quantanium from the Iron Halo. Beautiful rock, 5122 at 35%, 35 and some change. Broke clean. I only had to break 2 of the chunks in order to get a uni. And so, what can you, man, that's a dream. This is a dream come true.
Welcome.
Loved
to the
it.
ASOP Vehicle Retrieval System.
All right, and so we'll go ahead and store the prospector. Awesome, and we'll head down to the refinery. And we will throw this in the hopper just for posterity. I'm not, I'm just kind of curious if, I haven't looked at all the different options. Are there different options in 3.17? I don't think there are. But, I thought I'd just kind of at least go through this part of things. So it's not this part. This part of the, yeah, thank you, Chris. It's not, I was about to say, it's not this part of the trip that's the dangerous part. It's the part after you leave and you're coming back. So, it's true. I mean, literally the most, I've died just a few times in the PTU, and every time I've died, it's been, well, that's not true. One time I had to backspace and die because I kind of got trapped in a cave trying to do some hand mining, and I just kind of got caught in the geometry a little bit. But the only other times I've died has been to the, it's been to the refinery thing here, so. But it's on the return trip, so we'll be really careful when we we'll be really careful when we come back. Alrighty.
Hey, back again, I see.
Yeah, back again, I see. Yes, sir. Alright, we'll set up the work order here. Kaizen winnowing? I don't remember. Is that in? What is thermatic deposit? Are these in there and I just don't remember them? Does anybody remember Kaizen winnowing? Is that a thing? What is going on with that? I'm gonna get a quote. What is 64? Oh, look at the yield. Yeah, I'm not saying that stuff isn't in there. Thermatic deposition, get quote. I don't know that those are not names that I recognize. I mean, they could be in there. Interesting. I mean, I remember, I certainly seen XCR and Dynix and electrostalysis and Gaskin and pyrometric, and I just don't know that the thermatic deposition with the Kaizen winnowing. I don't know. Yeah, we'll just do the Dynix. We're not coming back to this thing anyways. Yeah, that looked like it worked fine. Yeah, I don't know if those are names I recognize though. That's interesting for sure. Well, all right. I mean, obviously that part of it is. Now this is the part, Chris, where I have to remember to go right. So I'm so happy that I just looked up at your chat. Like here, I will tell you. I normally go to the left, right over there, and then I call the elevator, and then I'm happily standing there, and then I get smacked. Right over here, we're going to try it here. Oh, it just opened. We lived. Bane, how you doing, Bane? Bane says, I rented a prospector today. I know I can't mine quant, but it's still just for learning. What refining method is best? Bane, here's the thing. If you're in 3.16, I probably would recommend the Ferron Exchange. That's going to give you the most yield. It's going to cost a little more up front, but it's going to be the fastest that gives you the most yield. And I would probably recommend, if you're mining in 3.16, to do that one, because you just don't know. I mean, it seems like 3.17 is off a ways. And it certainly could be. But, you know, that would be the one that I recommend. Normally, if you want to make the most, squeeze the most dollars out of something, you use the Dynic solvenation. It's a very slow process, but it's the lowest cost and the highest yield. So it's just one of those things. I do recommend the Ferron Exchange. I think that's a good one. Bane, did you happen to catch my rented prospector video yesterday? You know, some good tips and tricks there. Now, most of that stuff I will, you know, you guys probably hear the call out. It was History Teacher who comes to the stream occasionally, blesses the stream, who mentioned that. And, you know, and a lot of that was kind of borrowed information. But I took some time yesterday. I actually spent about 4 hours. It's G, Jazzy Cat. It's if you hit G a couple of times. That's how you rotate the mining laser. Yeah, but I took some time yesterday, and I spent a lot of time doing some rented prospecting yesterday. And I really do think that you could actually make pretty good money at it. So let me get a sip of coffee here. So I think we're going to change gears a little bit. Peter Pindell says, G, thank you, Peter. I think we're going to change gears a little bit and potentially go see if we can go do a little bit of ROC mining. But I don't know. Maybe we could, you know, I guess I'm kind of curious about that. I do know yesterday I wasn't able to get any ROC minables to scan. Here's what we'll do. I'll take the prospector over to Lyria, and when we see gem icons, I'll see if I can scan them. Let's do it that way. I think that's what we'll do.
Welcome.
Oh, let me do a pre-flight on the old prospector. Oh, hey. All right, we'll just double check that we've got it. Yeah, we're good. And we will go ahead and go to this other terminal. That one looks like it got sideways a little bit.
To the ASOP vehicle retrieval system.
Jazzy Cat says thanks. Bane says yes, I did. I plan to play a few hours, so I hope I hit the 300K mark. Yeah, for sure, Bane. Frost says, dang, you should really start a podcast. Thank you, Frost. That's really very kind of you to say. Okay, so we will pull the prospector. We'll head over to Lyria, and we'll go do a little mining on Lyria. But what we'll do is, if I happen to see any gem icons, I will look at them. And if for some reason while we're on this trip, we see that gem, like I can scan the gems in the prospector, then I will think about maybe doing some ROC mining as well. So we'll just kind of play it by ear and see how it goes. It is a beautiful Saturday today. There's not a cloud in the sky. There's a soft breeze. It's up in the 60s, maybe even in the mid 60s. Just a glorious day in northern Michigan. So nice. And we will head on out. And we will head over to Lyria. Now, there's always a chance we could throw a mining gadget on something as well. You never do know if we happen to find a real big rock. I certainly wouldn't mind doing that. You know, obviously always looking for use cases for those.
Hello. How can this help you?
Let's go ahead and set our... It's so nice having the sticks mapped. For sure. Rambo Mim says it's nice in Georgia today too, I bet. There we go. Off we go. Beautiful Art Corp. We'll head that way, and then we'll turn towards Lyria. So, already a really good day, you guys. Obviously, Aaron Halo mining, 32 SCU run. And that worked out really well. A full unicorn there. We're going to head over to Lyria. We're going to take a look at... We have a couple of objectives in Lyria. The first objective, of course, is to do a little mining. The second objective is we're going to take a look to see if the gem icons, when we come across them... Frosty says, same here in California. Gotta love it when it's beautiful across the country, that's for sure. Yeah, we're going to go ahead and see if we can actually scan some of the gem icons. And, yeah, just for doing some, continuing our 3.17 testing. Obviously, I was really thinking about seeing, we'll see how each of the mining loops is working if we can. We'll have to just kind of play it by ear with time. And so, obviously if we hit the Aaron Halo, now we're going to kind of hit Lyria. We're going to do some surface mining. If for some reason we do get lucky and it does seem like the minables are showing up on Lyria, the gem icons, like Hadnite, we'll maybe pull the Nomad and go pull a rock and fly that around a little bit. And see if we can do a little ROC mining. And then, we'll just kind of play it by ear. So... Philip Hoffer! Philip, how you doing? Philip says hello all, with a nice salute. Nice to see you this Saturday afternoon, Philip, for sure.
Quantum travel complete.
Oh. We'll go ahead and head towards Lyria. Coffee's so good today, you guys. Yum. So delicious. And on to Lyria we go. We're going to find something to mine. We may find something to put mining gadgets on. We'll absolutely scan any gem icons see if they're scannable. And Frosty says, is it cheaper to purchase the Cutlass Black or the Prospector? The Cutlass Black is cheaper. Probably I think by $50 or so, if I'm not mistaken. I think I seen the Cutlass Black around $100. Maybe it's a little more than that. I don't know if it was on sale the last time I seen it. And the only reason I was comparing it is because I was really kind of like, now that I realized that when the Nomad first came out, it was pretty unstable to put the rock in the back of it. But man, now, like I was just testing it yesterday, and that thing just backs in there like a dream now. It was kind of wondering, like, hey, for a starter ship, for a mining stream, could I recommend the Nomad? I mean, I might. I mean, it's actually kind of a sleepy, versatile, kind of ship. But the one thing I will say is when there's only a $20 difference between that and the Black, boy, it's hard not to say, if you're going to spend on that little bit of extra, you might want to get the Black, because the Black does have the size 2 quantum drive, and you certainly can ROC minus. Plus, it's got it's 20 more SCU of hauling. So it's hard to sleep on the Black. The Black is just an awesome ship for its. Yeah, the Cutlass is about 100. The Prospector's 150. That's exactly right. So now I would always make the argument that the one thing about the Prospector that is much different than any other ship is the Prospector. With a small investment of a Lancet mining head and 3 Brants, will immediately pay you dividends. I mean, it will immediately, you are looking at immediately being able to, that's going to be a rock icon. You're going to be immediately able to begin printing money. So that's the one thing about the Prospector that is, you watch a few videos, I mean, right off the bat, even yesterday when I did rented prospecting, I will tell you, even rented prospecting, I was going to be able to see, probably 300,000 or 400,000 a day if you had a long day. You could probably easily make that kind of money doing that. So this might be gem icons here. It's going to be. And I'm just kind of curious. Yeah, this is what I was seeing yesterday. Like, I just don't get anything. You can't, they don't scan at all. Yeah, and they just don't seem to really be there, you guys. This is just one of the things I was talking about. Like, I wanted to ROC mine today, but I don't seem to be able to. And you can look at the weird distortion too. You can kind of see them like kind of wiggle in there. Now that looks like Dolovine to me. I can see green in that. And I'm just gonna do this for posterity real quick. You know, I hope, if you guys don't mind, I think I'm gonna just go ahead and drop the gear a sec. And we're gonna head down. I'm just gonna go and I'm just gonna see if those things are actually there or not. You can even see, look at the wiggling that's going on. It's a strange distortion type thing that's happening with the planet surfaces that I've noticed. Yeah, we're just going to drop this guy right here. I will K this and I will kill the engines. And this is just us doing this for science and testing. Frosty says, can you get them in-game or just... No, you absolutely can earn the Prospector in-game. You can just... Frosty, you can just get like a $45 package, get an Aurora and get started and work your way up. I mean, you don't have to invest a lot of money. You could always or the Avenger, the Titan Avenger. You know that one. Why are you wiggling? Oh, must have been the ladder. Yeah, this is what I'm talking about. This is kind of like. I don't know if you guys can see this effect. It almost looks like The Ring, like when the evil little girl who's gonna get you, how she kind of twitches and does weird stuff. And watch, you can walk right through them. They're not actually here. There's like something wonky going on with them. Yeah, I mean normally these are physicalized, right? Where you can't do that. You'd run against it. But there is something going on with these. They're not right. So that's just what I've noticed, and it's fine. It's just but you can almost see like, I don't know if you guys can see that twitching that's going on. It's kind of strange. Like that's very unusual, and it's not normal. And this is the PTU. I hope no one thinks that I'm kind of in any way or shape or form dogging on the game. I'm just kind of pointing out the state that it's in at the moment. I'm not. It's just an interesting situation. So, yeah, that's what I was seeing yesterday with the ROC mining. It's just not a thing, really. Right now, for some reason, they're just those minables are not in a good state. Epoxy, that's a great question. First of all, Epoxy, welcome to the channel. Not a name I recognize. There's already a ticket in on it. There's, and I did chime in on it for sure. So, yeah, it's already. The issue council already has a ticket on it for sure. So, cool. So earlier in the stream, you guys, we actually went to the Air and Halo. We got a full 32 SCU unicorn run, and now we're here. And this the first thing that I wanted to try was just kind of looking. Yesterday on Aberdeen, I had the same issue with the rocks, kind of acting this way, and with it kind of having that twitchy little look to it as well. Jazzy Cat says, who is the Jack streamer? That would be Jack Axton, AXTON. Jack stream, he does these awesome videos on like the state of trade, but he also is a streamer, and he does a lot of cargo streaming, but he does all sorts of stuff. And he's a lovely soul. I mean, it seems like a nice man, and I actually really enjoy Jack streams. So it's Jack Axton. One of the many, we're really blessed in this community to have some very good content creators, and I think Jack's one of them. Santa Claus says, I bought an Aurora at 45, then upgraded to the Cuddy Red for an additional 50, then upgraded to the Prospector for another 50. So I didn't basically spend the 150 outright, I just upgraded slowly. And Sandy, that is a very, very good way to do it, right? You can buy in at the one rate. Let's say you buy into an Aurora, right? And then you go then to the to the Titan, the Avenger, Titan, and then you go to the you go up from there a little bit. Then you go up to the Black. So Epoxy says, I missed the Iron Halo. Was the scanning better? No unscannables? There were some unscannables for sure, Epoxy. But I, and the one thing is, I wouldn't say the scanning's better either. I think I would be careful with that statement myself, in the sense that it's weird that, I don't know if you know this, like in 3.17, if you've done any mining. If you watch here, watch how I have to get about 1,000 away before it becomes an actual rock icon. I can see the rock physically underneath the blue kind of opportunity marker there, if you will. But watch, I have to almost get, look how close I have to get before it comes a rock icon. And that's what's going on in the Iron Halo. The problem is that blue box isn't always on top of the rock itself. So you're literally having to get within 1,000 before you can use V-scan in the Halo. And that's a little wonky. I mean, I'm not sure that's the intended use case. So yeah, was my experience in the Halo, and if you go back and if you watch the beginning of the stream, yeah, it's a little strange. I mean, and of course, me, I'm not a hater. I'm also not a white knight, so I just am trying to be clinically honest, kind of like when a doctor tells you have cancer. It's like, I don't think that scanning is exactly where they want it to be, because you can't V-scan them from any kind of a distance. You got to roll up on them 1,000 away, and by the time you're 1,000 away, you might as well just pull out the mining laser and go in there and take a closer look at them. That's kind of where it's at. Doya says upgrade, then the next thing your concierge. Yeah, that's exactly right. Keep on upgrading, chipping away, and before long you got yourself a top hat and a monocle. That's a thing. I mean, I laugh, but I mean, is it really that funny? I mean, that's for sure. Yeah, anyways, we'll just kind of keep it. We're going to do a little surface mining here. We are looking for doublers, and we are looking for clusters. And we already know that the ROC minables will not, they're, and something, the little fishy's going on with those. And that's what was my experience with hand mining as well. There's just, it's not really a thing. It's not working that great. So with the hand mining, it was a slightly different meta. I could scan them, but I would cook them up to the spot where they should break, and then they would just kind of like smolder and never stop smoldering, almost like I created like a glow rock. So it was kind of funny. And I was really planning on doing like today, like all of the loops, you know what I mean? Like, hey, let's go do all the loops. Let's go do some hand mining. Let's go do some ROC mining, and let's go do some prospecting on a moon surface and in the Halo. And we just kind of, we decided that, you couldn't really do that. So it is what it is. Philip Hopper says, that's what happened to me. I bought the game, and before I knew it, I was in for a couple large. Yeah, it's Philip. It does sneak up on you, man, over time. I understand what you mean. I completely get what you're saying. It's one of those things where, it's like, oh yeah, that would be nice to have that ship. It'd be nice to have that ship. If I am brutally honest, if I only had to own one ship in Star Citizen, let's say they had a one ship minimum, you could only buy one ship, it would be the Prospector right now. Now, that may change at some point, but right now it would absolutely be the Prospector. And the reason it would be the Prospector is because I can print money with this thing. Literally can go out for a few hours a day and make $500,000 to $1 million. Every single day in-game cash. So it's like, I don't even care if you set the ship price at $50 million. I'll knock it out in a month. If I really want to put my foot on the gas, I'd have that ship if I wanted it. So I don't necessarily know that it's healthy to kind of grind that much Quantanium mining as a human. But yeah, it's something that you would do. I mean, or could do. Drax says, everybody in the game wants to be known as a good person or a top rank in their field. I want to be known, so when someone mentions my name, everyone asks, what's that? What is that crazy guy doing up? What's he blowing up? That's hilarious, Drax. We have a guy like that in our organization right now. He's just a kind of a fun-loving guy. I'm sure he knows all the ways that that you should just kind of you know, kind of stay within the rails and everything would be all right. But he definitely goes off the rails, and you know, we always have a few laughs with that. Clement says you must, wow, you must be much closer for the rocks to show up. Yes, that's true. That's one thing that I don't know if you guys have noticed, and I've mentioned it a couple of times. You have to be within 1,000 before it'll draw the rock icon. I don't like that per se. I like it in 3.16 where it's like at 5K. Well, over 5K, it's like an opportunity, like you see the square. And then at 5K, it draws the white circle. And then as you get closer, but this here, you've got to be almost on top of them before they draw, you know, before they draw the actual rock icon. The rock's right there, but you still can't see it. Watch. Oh, no, that's going to be gems, you guys. So that one was a little bit different. But yeah, I mean, you know, on any of these you can see you have to be almost on top of it before it'll actually draw the right icon. Blue Outrider, not a name I recognize. Welcome to the channel. How are you today, Blue? Wouldn't Prospector require a cargo hauler to get that level of profit? It does, Blue. But even in the worst case scenario, you can rent chips, right? So you could rent a Cuddy Black and just do 1-to-1s. And, you know, or, you know, you can fit up to 46 SCU of refined material on there. So you can rent the Cutlass Black really right from the same place where the refinery's at and get started doing your cargo hauling. Now, 1-to-1s aren't that fun, and here's what I mean by a 1-to-1. You know, you'd have, for every 32 SCU load, you'd have to take one cargo run. Oh, I might have tapped the mic there. If I did, sorry, you guys. And so I was waving with my... I don't know why. You guys can't see me, but I was being articulate with my hands for a minute. That's ridiculous. And so, yeah, I mean, it's a good point that you're making, Blue, for sure. You do need a hauler. You know, I recommend, you know, something like the Freelancer Max to get started. I also don't think that I use myself, my personal favorites, the Cutlass, are probably the Constellation Taurus. I like that myself. Look at all these opportunity icons, you guys. It's kind of crazy. I like that particular one. But you do, yeah, having a hauler does help, and that way you can take 3 or 4 or 5 refined prospector loads in one haul, as opposed to, you know, having to do it a little differently. So, good question, Blue. Doya says, same here. Prospector is #1. Absolutely. Prospector is my favorite ship in the game. And part of it is because this canopy is insane. I just love this thing. I mean, I just adore this ship, for sure. It's just fantastic. Role reversal Starstreams. Look at that, you guys. The illustrious Starstreams has joined today and is just kind of saying, sup, chat. Let's give Starstreams a warm welcome. Starstream, nice to see you, sir. Absolutely adore your streams. I really mean that. You have great music on there. Every time I stop in, I've snuck on there a few times, but decided to say hi the other day. And so Starstreams is, you know, anybody who's on this chat now or maybe watching it later, please do support Starstreams. He has a fabulous stream. He's got way more ambition than I do. He's always on there for a couple of hours. You know, and by a couple, I mean sometimes 10 and 12. I don't know how you do that, sir. And, you know, yeah, man, it's awesome. I mean, I think that your ROC mining stuff, it's so funny because I'm going to tell you one last thing, Starstreams, real quick. I was testing ROC mining yesterday in 3.17, and specifically the Nomad. I was just kind of curious if the ROC would go on the Nomad. I had the hardest time not buying the Valkyrie. I was like, man, Starstreams use the Valkyrie. Maybe I should try the Valkyrie. And I was like, dude, I couldn't do that on stream. That would be wrong. So I didn't do it. You know, you can't really ROC mine right now in 3.17 at the moment, anyways, because it's a little wonky. But anyways, yeah, I just want to say, you know, if you guys get a chance, please do watch Starstream's ROC stream. It's great. It's good fun. You can learn a tremendous amount about ROC mining just by watching what he's doing. And anyways, yeah. Oh, here's a cluster, you guys. So we'll take a look at this. And I don't know that this was actually showing up on the. So yeah, awesome. So anyways, that's my glowing review of Starstreams. Very much, you know, I think Star would agree. We're very blessed in this community to have some fantastic people, you know, who just kind of do the daily thing day in and day out, and You know, Starstreams is no exception. I know we were talking about Jack's stream a little earlier. You know, so yeah, it's just one of those things. We're very blessed. So cool. All right. Well, you can see if I get in here real close, you can see that they're really jittery. You know, like I don't know if you can. I'll try and get in real close. Like you can see how jittery the actual. Like it's really weird. Like the thing that I would, like I said, kind of visually liken it to the most is like the horror movie The Ring, you know, or it's just like kind of like where that evil little gal just like twitches and like it freaks me out, you know. But anyways, yeah, there's something strange going on there. I'm gonna go ahead and just kind of give this a sec and see if this kind of pulls itself. Now we've certainly scanned plenty of rocks here. We're just gonna hang out here now. Normally, I noticed my gear's down in my shadow. Look at that. I'm gonna put that up. Yeah, I noticed. Let's go ahead and see if this actually kind of gets itself out of this funk here with these. Normally it does, for sure. Bane Appy says, LOL, yup, learning okay. I guess I was too close, but it never went into the red. But I cracked the rock. My ship almost exploded and crashed and would not lift up. That's awesome. Chris Bates says, collaborate, stream, celebrity mining. You know, not a bad idea. One of these days, I mean, you know, maybe we could do something for charity or something. That'd be a lot of fun. I think that'd be fun for sure. Awesome. So, cool. Let's go ahead and, yeah, we're just definitely not getting nothing to see here. Now, I wonder if I were to get out, if I could walk through those rocks. You know, like, and there certainly have been rocks that we could scan. And of course, earlier in the stream in the Air and Halo, we pulled in 32 SEU of Quantanium. So it's not like this is kind of system wide, but this is definitely, I am going to land for posterity here. And I'm just going to see if I can walk through the rock and see if there's actually a hit marker or not in it. I don't think that there is. I think I'm going to walk right into that thing, and we are going to just kind of cruise over here and set this guy down. Gracefully. let's just go see here what we got. That's for sure. We're going to take a peek here and see. Hey, look how beautiful it is out there, though. It's nice out. Yeah, we're going to go ahead and take a look here. Ponzer says, hit it with the laser. I did hit him with the laser for a sec there. I don't think this thing is here, you guys. Look at, it's like the Pink Floyd concert or something. There's something really fishy going on here. And yeah, this was what I was thinking was happening. Hey guys, I'm trapped inside. I am the Quantanium. Come mind me. Yeah, that's not normal. Not normal at all. That is less than normal. Let's leave it at that. And I'm not saying every rock's doing that. We'll look around a little more. Oh yeah, Ponzer, no big deal. Ponzer says, oh, I missed it. Yeah, no big deal for sure. And so, and you know, this is 3.17. You know, it's like I said it, you know, a little earlier. There are no expectations here. I'm not, you know, unhappy or grumpy that that's an issue. It's not a big deal at all. It really isn't. You know, it's one of those things where it's testing. It is what it is, right? You know, and so the best thing that we can do is make sure that we visit the issue council and just let them know our experience, and that's kind of, you know, what we're here for. I mean, you know, the hand mining loop, as you know, I've mentioned, is not in a great place. You know, the ROC mining loop is, you know, the minables are not in a great place, and so we find ourselves with even some issues. And I've done several streams in 3.17 and never had any hit marker issues with the yes, the Phantom Rock. You're right, it is the Phantom Rock, and so, like Starstream was saying, yes, that's exactly what it is. It's the Phantom Rock, and it's not unusual, and it's really important, like I said, for me to just clarify, like, it's really just, it's testing, you know. So I actually, like, I'm enjoying myself. I don't really need to you know, make any space bucks right now. I really am just kind of the Quantanium cloaking device. That's exactly right, Star. You know, that is exactly right. So yeah, I'm just kind of curious if all of them are doing that. I wonder if it is like a server wide. I'm just gonna look at this random single rock. Hello, random single rock. For our procedurally generated enjoyment, let's look at you. Are you there? I would guess no. I think I'm going to put the mining head right in that thing. Yeah, that's what I would thought for sure. Cool. Sleepy Plays. How are you today, Sleepy? Not a name I recognize. Welcome to the channel. I have expectations. I expect gals on my ship. Oh, my stars. Well, you know, I mean, you got to be careful with those expectations, Sleepy. I mean, you know, they'll let you down sometimes. You know, we are playing video games. There's not tons of, you know, obviously it's a lot better than it used to be, but it's not, we're still not quite 50-50 in that for those demographics, I don't think. It was certainly not in my house, anyways. That's for sure. Well, heck, you guys, so if all of them are kind of in this state, I think we probably are in a spot where we need to probably maybe take a look and head back out potentially to the Aaron Halo if we want to do a little bit more mining today, because we're not seeing anything that we can actually, like, it looks like kind of all the rocks on Lyria here to be, you know, certainly the couple sets of gems I looked at were not scannable. These are actual doublers here, so these are Quantanium. But, you know, none of them seem to be kind of giving us any opportunities here. So we'll wait just a moment. Rambo Man says, how are your frames in 3.17? That's an excellent question. Let's take a look. So if I hit tab here, I'm sorry, if I hit tilde here, if you hit R and tab, it's one of the, like a cool little trick. If you hit R and tab, look, it will put in like the whole display info. So then I can just hit 4 and then tilde out. And let's look at our frames. Right now our frames are about 42 out here on Lyria, 43. Not too shabby. Oops, climbing up to 44. We're just sitting here. Yeah, in the 40s. Not too shabby. Sleepy Play says, fantastic. Thank you. Expectations never let you down. It's reality that lets you down. Fair enough, Sleepy. I'll take that. Bane Epi says, are you gonna add new NPC crew for your ship that you don't have to pay weekly to the level up the longer you keep them and train them? Are you gonna add NPC crew for a ship that you have? You know, obviously I do know that there's some thoughts of blades or NPC crew at some point, and I'm sure I bet you when they finish a lot of the tech for Squadron 42, some of that stuff will be more available. I would imagine that a lot of people would employ those. I myself would probably try and go for having the actual, as many times as you could, have actual people along. I'd hate that if everybody was just kind of soloing. I'm not saying hate, that's too strong of a word. I don't think I would enjoy it as much if everybody was in an Orion with, you know, solo with 6 NPC crew kind of doing all the work. You know, I hope that it's a little more collaborative than that myself. That's only my vision, though. Drax says, yeah, looks like you're in a place where you need to find some other place to be. Yeah, that's a good point, Drax. And so I think, yeah, without further ado, let's head back out to the one place we seem to be able to mine. We'll top off. We'll go top off at Arcal 1 and head back out to the Halo. We talked about going to the Halo today anyways. We went to the Halo earlier. We got a full 32 SCU of Quantanium. Lyria doesn't seem to be like it's working well today. I did test on Aberdeen earlier today, this morning actually, and Aberdeen was kind of acting the same way as Lyria, so it's just one of those things. We're not, you know, it's 3.17, it's testing, it is what it is, so we're just kind of cruising around, looking at the options, you know, maybe we'll do something a little funner. I'll go to Arcal 1, maybe we'll take the rented prospector, and we'll maybe grab a couple of mining gadgets and see if we can't get ourselves in a place where we could mine some Quantanium with some mining gadgets and just kind of have some fun with that. Maybe blow ourselves up. Pyro, welcome to the channel. How are you doing? What's your opinion on mining with the mole versus the prospector? I started a week ago, and a lot of people I've talked to prefer the mole for quant mining. Here's where I'm at with it. After 1 year and 6 months of mining, I love the prospector for solo mining. I have the mole. The mole is literally the funnest ship in the game, in my opinion, when you have a good crew on board. I absolutely know, and there are strong advocates that come into this channel every day and say they love solo mole mining. I myself think solo mole mining is a touch tedious, having to constantly kind of get out of the go off the bridge and then run down to a mining laser. For me, is just if I'm just completely honest with myself, is a little more tedious of a gameplay loop. I do not begrudge anybody who has more ambition. Both ships are fantastic. My own opinion is, if I'm solo mining, I'm going to do it in the prospector. If I am, if I have a crew that wants to go out and do some mining, I will do it in the mole. And I truly have the most fun in the mole with a good competent crew. There's nothing funner than that. It's just it's easy going, lots of laughs. The mole's a great ship. But yeah, that's my opinion on that, Pyro. Hope it helps. Clement says, only for the 96 SGU, it's better to mine with the mole. That's true. I mean, obviously the mole does have more capability of hauling more in. And certainly, you can certainly position the mole in between rocks and in a way where if you solo mole mine, you can absolutely go back to the hopper with more than 32 SCU of Quantanium. The 32 SCU of Quantanium is an excellent goal. I mean, it's over $250,000. But yeah, that's the thing. Everybody should do really what they enjoy. I actually did plenty of solo mole mining. I think I prefer to solo mole mine in the air and Halo. I think that's a little funner, a little easier. But yeah, that's just my own opinion. You know what I mean? It's just that's where I'm at. So I think I also will tell you the prospector is my favorite ship in the game. So I definitely have a little bit of a bias. Blue Outrider says, have you sold cargo from a ship that was stored in the local spaceport, i.e. haul with a Cat 2 docket port Trestler, then pull out something? Yes, Blue, I have been doing that for sure. That's actually going away in this 3.17. They've split the local and the orbital. So Area 18 is no longer going to share with Bajini. Lorville's no longer going to share with Everest. Orison's no longer going to share with with Alisar. Those types of things. So I think you're definitely going to be returning to the days where you have to haul your cargo hauler down to the planet surface. But I have really enjoyed that gameplay loop, Blue. I absolutely almost every time take my big, like my M2 or my even my Taurus. I take over to the orbital Bajini, and then I will absolutely take a skiff down. I love that meta. I wish it was staying. I understand why it doesn't, in a way, but I kind of really enjoyed that part of it, and I did that a lot. Oh, that's a weird. I'm trying to do a post flight here, and it's acting like I'm inside the station. No big deal. I'll go in and store it and pull it back out. Blue Rider says that was going to be my follow-up question. Are you curious how I might find that change somewhat due to the hull C not being able to land on the planet? Yeah, it is going to be. That's going to be interesting when you have those great big ones. I think the hull C and those bigger ships are going to have some very specific. Kind of roles that they do. And so I think that they're going to have, with the cargo refactor, they're going to have ways that you use obviously those bigger ships, but going down to the planet surface with the skiff isn't going to be one of them. Toe Cutter says splitting invo is why I picked up the Taurus for hauling refinery loads. Yeah, I can appreciate that for sure. And Sleepy says they took away the sharing is caring. How rude of them. Yeah, I did enjoy that. The one thing I will say is, and I abused it myself a little more than I probably should have, is I would fly my, let's say my M2 full of stuff over, or like my Constellation Taurus full of stuff over to Bajini. I'd fly down in like my Pisces, and then I'd pull, it's like, oh, I don't want to fly all the way back to Bajini to like grab my thing. So I would immediately like go to the TDD cell and then pull, like I'd actually leave Atmo with the ship. So I was, I think that's one of the things that they were kind of like, I don't know about this. Yeah, look at this. It's in claim, you guys. I was wondering if it wasn't in claim because of the way it was acting. I'll head back up to it. If I can figure out what pad I was on. Yikes. I'm going to say pad 2. I don't see the icon anymore. I've lost my prospector, and I don't want to claim it. I got too much stuff on there. I've got I've got like 20 mining gadgets on there. I'll EVA over to it if I have to. I've lost my prospector. Where is my... Oh, no, it's... Oh, look at this, you guys. What on earth? That's strange. All right, well, there's different ways that we can skin this issue. We'll go land on the wrong pad and see what they think about that. Toe Cutter says, yeah, the Taurus has more shields than a Freelancer, easier to land than a Cat or a C2. Toe Cutter, my favorite hauling ship is the Constellation Taurus. For a variety of reasons. Number one, the reasons it does have a smaller footprint. Actually, a remarkably small footprint for the type of ship that it is. It's got 174 SCU, which is fantastic. It's a gunship, right? It's got the size 2 size 5s, 2 size 4s, or 4 size 4s, which is still respectable, depending on how you kit it. It's just one of those. The 174 SCU is an amount that I'm okay with losing if for some reason there is a funny game glitch. If you load up your C2 or your M2, no question about it, if you lose that, you're a lot sadder human being. And Sandy's saying, the Freelancer Max. Don't sleep on the Freelancer Max. I use that thing for 6 months. I love the Freelancer Max. I do think that, like if I'm a pirate, I look at the Freelancer Max a little differently than I look at the Constellation Taurus as far as a target goes. But that's just me. Oh, wow. That's one way to get the ship stored, right?
Welcome to the
Let's just take a look here. Yes, I'll pay the fine. All right, I paid my fine. That's awesome. It is, of course, let's go ahead and we'll just kind of double check to make sure we didn't use anything, so we're good there. And I will turn off this this here. All right, we'll go back to this. Dude, where's my ship? That's exactly right, Chris. So we definitely know that we can't hand mine today, and we definitely know that we can't ROC mine today. And we went to the planet side on Lyria, and everything was kind of just like missing or disappearing. So I think we'll head back. The one place we were able to mine today was the Air and Halo. So I think we'll head back out there for another run. Now I thought about doing a rented prospector, and then maybe some mining gadgets. Let me see which mining gadgets I have. I do have Sabirs, Optimaxes, and some wave shifts. And I do have a Bormax. I know there are Bormaxes in the basement as well. So I'm good here in the station on some of those extras. We could grab a rented prospector and head over to the Halo and see if there's a way we could use those Sabirs. Because the Sabir, you guys, it has this really cool negative 75% instability. So you almost could use that like a Brant, you'd still would be dealing with, I mean, you'd have to put 2 Sabirs on, like, on a broke, right, in order to get it down to a reasonable amount. I'm willing to gamble with that a little bit. It's, you know what, it's for a little bit of testing. We're just having fun today. So let me go down and buy a bunch, because obviously if you're going to Quantanium, it's the instability that's going to be the worst of it. And you're not going to find, you're not kidding for rocks that are too big in the Iron Halo. You're actually going to kit for rocks that are, you know, too unstable, you know, because your Arbor mining laser is going to be not so great. So we'll rent a prospector. We'll throw a bunch of Sabirs and a couple of wave shifts on there, and we'll just run out and monkey around in the Halo for a minute and see if we can figure out. Obviously, whenever you use if you know, like, and I just did a video on this, you know, and shout out the history teacher. It was his idea. But, you know, look, the quick and dirty with the rented prospector in 3.16 is go to Aberdeen. The reason you go to Aberdeen is because there's no Quantanium there. So it's like Bexelite, Laranite, Terranite is there. And those are going to be like your top 3 that you're looking for. Bexelite, Laranite, Terranite. And in like between 15 and 25%, you do want low mass rocks between 3,000 and 4,000 because they're much more efficient. You know, but there is some thoughts about doing using these mining gadgets for the rented prospector. And I'm going to do that. I'll monkey around with that a little bit. We'll load some Sabirs on the rented prospector, and we will load some wave shifts on the rented prospector. I don't think we'll need the Bormaxes, but, you know, we might grab 1 or 2 of them anyways. Blue Outrider says, I think I watched someone load a C2 nearly full of refined quant and sold for 6.5 mil. I was hoping that something didn't happen to them en route. Yeah, it's so funny, Blue. I'll tell you, I preached for the longest time, like, I don't ever take any more than 174 SU. And the first time I did take a full M2 load, I was pulled direct. Like, I went into Quantum. I've never had this happen before or since, but it was almost like, just karma striking out. Like, I was literally pulled out of my, like, right into space from the pilot seat. I watched the M2 just fly away without me. Now it did work out. Like, I literally eventually just kind of logged out of the game, logged back in, and the M2 was in retrieve, and I managed to keep it. I don't know how. But I thought I just had watched, you know, 4.3 million just fly off. So yeah, it's one of those things. That's one of the reasons why, you know, you do need to be careful. So, you know, and maybe split up those loads when they get that big. And that 174 SE is kind of the spot where I like. It's kind of a nice cutoff. It's a big run where you can haul 5 or 6 loads in, or a couple of moles. But it's not, you know, you're not losing, you're not losing so much that you're just, you know, you've lost a week's worth of work. So we're going to we're going to rent a prospector. We're going to confirm the rental. And we are going to go ahead and grab some additional Sabirs and a couple of extra Bormaxes. And we're going to move some of that stuff into, so we're going to go ahead and let's just grab some Sabirs. All right, plus 10. Whoa. Well, that's interesting. What was wrong there? Let's just go to utility again. Sabir. Can I quick buy? Yeah. Oh, am I not doing it right? Oh, it was just as me. I was being silly. There's okay, so a few extra Sabirs. That's good. Cool. Let's do a couple more Bormax. I know I have most of those loaded up on my prospector, so we'll buy some of those. That is cool. Colton Hill, how you doing, Colton? Colton says, hey man, good to see you again, Star Citizen. Has been working amazingly since I installed my SSD. Colton, that's awesome. Now, I don't know, some of you may or may not know, and one thing I will say, you know, Colton came to the channel, I don't know, would you say Colton a couple weeks ago maybe, and was asking about an SSD, maybe it was, you know, 2 or 3 weeks ago, and you know, and talked about it, and, you know, he had installed Star Citizen. I'm going to go right here, Chris, I promise, if you're still watching. he had, decided to purchase an SSD drive, which is a very smart thing to do for Star Citizen. And now it sounds like he has it installed, and and chose a good one, by the way. And see, did you see it hit me? Do you see? It did hit me. It's not fair. I'm telling you. The most deadliest thing in the universe is the elevator here. It's so funny. So yeah, Colton anyways installed it with his SSD, and it sounds like he's having a much better performance than you would. It's such an important. It really is fundamentally one of the most important things that you can do for Star Citizen is put it on an SSD. Yum. So we are really going out on a limb here, you guys. This could definitely end in fire and brimstone. and you know what? It's never bad for the stream. Explosions are never bad for the stream. Can I just admit that readily? So here we have, and I am going to, let's see, what do we have for? Okay, yeah, okay. Yes. I'm not taking any of this stuff. I'm gonna leave that on, and I'm gonna put this on for this little bit of chicanery here. Junk Williams, not a name I recognize. Welcome to the channel, Junk. Everything in SC is out to get you. Ladders, elevators, water bottles, you name it. It's not untrue, Junk. I agree with you a lot on that capacity. The game definitely, there are rails that you try and stay within. It's death by 1,000 cuts, for sure, Junk. I know what you mean. That's really funny. Allie Mendoza, welcome to the channel. How are you today? Aren't you afraid of the 3.17 going live today and all that quant is going to be erased? I'm not too worried about it going live today. I think they really do have a significant amount of things that they need to fix. And so I really think that they're going to have to fix those things. It's funny because two Saturdays ago, Allie, I streamed for 4 hours and I put mining gadgets on stuff and had a great old stream and thought to myself, man, this is in good shape. This is ready to go. But as I dove into it a little more, we got to claim the rented prospector, and we're going to do that.
Your insurance claim has been
And so we got a couple minute wait. So a couple weeks ago I streamed for 4 hours, and it was lovely. And I thought, wow. But then as I began to look into the different issues they were having with, missions and, a lot of hit marker stuff, and then of course a lot of the leading your ship vector stuff. I know that they've got some jitteriness in the, so there's a lot of things they have to get cleaned up. So I'm not terribly worried about it going live, to be honest with you, unless they're really kind of in the background crazy fixing things. I still think we've got a few days. Even the mining loops, I will say, Ali, just so you know, like I tried to do hand mining, couldn't do it. ROC mining, couldn't do it. And even today, I tried to do some prospecting on Lyria, couldn't do it with hit marker stuff. So it's just kind of one of those things. Now, I'm not dogging the game. I have said that a couple times on the stream. I'm just kind of clinically reporting that's what's happening. It doesn't bother me. I'm happy to do this testing. Chris Bates says, boom. Yep, you're exactly right, Chris. Colton Hill says, I read that. It will be a while before the drop. Yeah, it could be a little while before the drop. So we're waiting for the rented prospector. We're actually gonna take the rented prospector. We're gonna throw a bunch of mining gadgets in it. We're gonna head it back out to the air at Halo where we were able to pull a unicorn earlier, and we're gonna monkey around with maybe some percentage of. I'm gonna try and attach. We're gonna EVA. I'm gonna try to attach like some. Not just to the first break, but to the second break and recover them. And we're just going to monkey around with it a little bit. Allie Mendoza says, so it's safe to mine this weekend? Thank you for the info. I think so, Allie. I would recommend at least the Ferron exchange, Allie. If you do if you do refining, do the Ferron exchange and haul them earlier in the week. That would be my best piece of advice. I truly thought, like I said a couple weeks ago, that it was going to be coming a lot faster just because I had such a stable experience. But the truth of the matter is they've really got a lot of bugs to fix, in the most respectful sense. Oh, my stars, you guys. I don't see my phone. I was looking around for my phone and I don't see it. I must have left it in the other room. That's probably not a bad thing. Yum, the Java's delicious today. Alright, let's see where we're at.
The ASOP vehicle retrieval system.
Got about 15 more seconds to get the rented prospector out. Then we're gonna stock that full of mining gadgets, and we're gonna head over to the Iron Halo. So that's what we're up to. And then we're gonna do some EVA mining gadget stuff, which I haven't done yet. That should be fun. Colton Hill says they should definitely implement ropes or something that you tether to your ship if you do an EVA. Well, Colton, you do realize, and I should probably actually, it's a good point you're making, because I think I have the cutter on there. Oh, yeah. Here, I'll show you something cool, which you may not be aware of. We just want to make sure we have the tractor beam on there, right? Because you do want that. You can actually EVA and connect to things and kind of slingshot yourself around with this thing right here. I probably should bring this too. Oh, I can only bring one thing. I wonder if you can do that differently with different undersuits. Alright, so here's what we're going to do. I do want to have a little bit more stuff, I've decided. That's a really good point. I'm going to go ahead. I'll throw on the MacFlex stuff that I have. Let's do that. Yeah, I will use that helmet. I will use this backpack. That's a really good point that that was made. I don't need that per se. But I do want this, and I do want this. The tractor beam attachment. Make sure it's in there. Yep, I definitely want that. A couple of these are a good idea. And I definitely want that. I want that on... Yes. Oh. And that's been happening lately. Like, I load one of those on my person, and what happens is the green cartridge disappears. Rambo Mim says, hopefully they'll fix the elevator at Grim Hex and the bunkers. Yeah, they've definitely got to fix that stuff. Uncle Matt, welcome to the channel, Uncle Matt. Not a name I recognize. Which is better, this or No Man's Sky? Well, No Man's Sky is in a much more polished state, Uncle Matt, for sure. I don't necessarily know in a way that they're fair comparisons. Now, certainly Star Citizen has no excuse. It's been in development for a long time. No Man's Sky is a very... You know, it's a good game, but I prefer kind of the realism in Star Citizen myself. That's just my own opinion. Junk Williams says, and here I thought we bonded over some old SWG streams. Junk, you know what? I try to remember everybody who comes on, but I don't always do the best job at that. SWG is definitely my favorite game of all time. We must have talked about it because you know that, and I apologize for not remembering that we did. So I do try to remember everybody's name. So I'm going to commit your Junk Williams to memory, and I will do better next time. Trust me, you know. But yes, Star Wars Galaxies, absolutely. If we talked about it, that's my favorite game of all time by a mile. Uncle Matt says I have $100 worth of Steam cards. Here I am, and here I am off all weekend. If you want a more polished experience, I'd go No Man's Sky. If you want a collection of, a hot mess that's super enjoyable, then Star Citizen may be for you. Colton Hill says, sometimes I look for my phone, but then I realize I'm using it as a flashlight. That's hilarious. Joe Cutter says, Grimm's elevators are on the roadmap for 2030. Yeah, that's true. Rambo Mims is talking to Toe Cutter about the accuracy of that. Uncle Matt says, is there a stock market like trading in Star Citizen? There is. The Quanta system where you purchase things and sell them, and they're still fleshing that out, but you have to invest your money, so you might have to go buy a bunch of Laranite at, say, like 24, and then go sell it for 27. There is definitely that kind of thing for sure. Colton Hill says, I'm pretty fond of hazard gear. Oh, I love that. The Aero Hazard set is my favorite by a mile, Colton. I actually like the Quicksilver color, but I do like the Aero set. The Hazard Yellow is pretty awesome as well. Uncle Matt says, I was going with realism. Thanks. I subscribe. Thank you very much, Uncle Matt. That's awesome. Colton Hill says, No Man's Sky really can't compare to SC. You know, they're just different games. Yeah, no, and of course SWG. It's not. Thank you, Junk. It's not a William. Hope you're having a great week. I am having a great weekend, Junk, and I hope you are too. So, yeah, caught up on the chat a little bit there. Let's look at this personal weapons. I'm gonna buy just another one or two of these here. And there's a buy over here. Yeah, I'm just gonna buy a bunch of them. Oh, okay. you know, like what keeps happening, and this is my OCD. If you look right in here, you guys, you can see this. I don't see a cartridge in there. So it's like I seem to load these. Oh, I didn't want that. I want this. Hold on. And I want this tractor beam attachment. And then I'm going to take this thing off. And I want to put one of those on, and I want it to keep the green cartridge in there. Yay, I think it did this time. That's OCD right there, you guys. That's how bad it is for me. I don't want to have one of those on my side with no green goo in there. That's terrible. That was a 10-minute detour over green goo, by the way. So content at its finest here on the mining stream. All right, so we've got the rented prospector. We're gonna pull that guy out. We're gonna load this guy up full of mining gadgets, and we're gonna take the rented prospector over the air in Halo, the only place that I seem to be able to find a rock to mine in the PTU today. And we're gonna give it a try. So pad 2, off we go. They need to bring SWG to Unreal 5, Rambo Mims. You know what? I would take an advanced, like if they would just take the first SWG, like the first 6 or months of it, or I'd be happy to offer some consulting on where the cutoff point should be, and remake that game. I mean, you know, with more modern graphics and design elements. I don't know, that game would not be a loser; it'd be a winner for sure. Especially that crafting system was straight fire. And including the experimentation part of it. And including the fact that you had Dantooine flowers from like 2 years ago that were the best in server. That kind of scarcity was just has never been seen before or since. It's just fantastic. Junk Williams says, if only I could be a Terakazi Master Combat Medic with a dash of Smuggler. Oh my goodness. I understand what you mean, sir. I would love if I could just have my architect doctor Jedi, eventual Jedi back at some point. All right, so you guys, here we go. Before we kind of get going, I need to load this guy up with some of the things that we're planning on bringing. So let's go ahead and do that back here in the back. So we are going to go to vehicle. We're definitely going to bring Sabirs. These are going to be kind of critical for this particular meta. The negative 75% instability is going to be, I don't necessarily know. There's not fundamentally one that's more important than that particular one for Quantanium mining, at least for what we're up to. I don't know that we're going to need a ton of Bormaxes. I'm going to throw 4 on there. Yeah, I'll throw a 5th on there just to be cool. We got in the room. Let's see here. Optimaxes, probably not a bad idea to throw 3 or 4 of those on. And then I will definitely take a wave shifter too as well. So I've got that guy loaded up. I definitely make sure I do have the tractor beam attachment. That's going to be important. And I will put a Sabir on my back right now, just so I have it on there. Look at that. Oh, that's weird. It attaches to the bottom of the backpack in this particular case. That's fun. That's not how it worked before. It was in the small of my back. That's kind of cool. Dancing Commando. That's exactly right, Boneser. All right, we're going to head over to the Halo right now and see what we can do with this rented prospector. This could end in fire and disaster, but that's all right. What we do this stuff for you. I like to tell myself that. All right, so HURL 5, here we go. And we will pivot towards it. We will definitely go ahead and spool up the drive. We will drop out at 7.7. And off we go. And we're going to see here. I mean, this is all just us messing around. Ponja says SWG was a great game. My favorite game by a mile. Now, don't get me wrong. I mean, I have some. There was a multi-user domain that I played called Tempest Mod back in the early 90s. That was a fantastic game. EverQuest. I loved EverQuest. I truly did love EverQuest. I really enjoyed Dark Age of Camelot in its kind of heyday with the PvP. I unfortunately was you know, from Hibernia that we kind of got rolled all the time. But SWG was great. I certainly did enjoy some World of Warcraft, not as much as other people did. But you know, of course, when they finally, you know, Elite Dangerous and Star Citizen, when they kickstarted in 2014, for me, I couldn't wait for space games. I mean, I just love space games. And so, yeah, I mean, those are definitely some highlights for me. Tempest Mod, I played a ton of that game. It was a fantastic multi-user domain, text-based adventure. Loved that game. EverQuest was probably right in there. Star Wars Galaxies is probably my favorite. Did I play Ultima Online? I did not play Ultima Online. I played Asheron's Call, as a matter of fact, you know, kind of more in that era, I think. And I really liked Asheron's Call. All right, so we're going to keep an eye here. We're going to try and drop out at 7.7. I can't remember. Maybe it's 8.7 we're supposed to drop out at. You know what? I think that's what it is. I actually think it's 8.7, not 7.7. But we'll just go ahead and do this. And then we'll head back. Oh, this was fine. This worked out great. I'll take it. Cool. So the first thing that I ever do whenever I come to the Aaron Halo is I turn around and just set Arc L1. And I put the sun at my back for the most part. And I will just kind of focus on keeping this at my 12 o'clock. Looks like we came out in a nice place in the Aaron Halo. Paul Ferguson, Drake stream today. Have a good one. Enjoy it. Nice. Oh, great stream today. Fair enough. Well, you know what? Drake, great. Paul, I'll take it either way. Thank you, sir. I appreciate it. Awesome. So here we're going to tab out, you guys. We are going to... look at all the opportunities here. I like it. And so here's what one thing you guys should be aware of, right? You can see that there's a rock here. I can't scan it. This is the one thing we talked about earlier. For those of you who are just kind of interested, I have to get very close in order. It's like within 1,000 meters before you'll even get the white circle, or you will get the rock icon. So there's no way to pre-scan on these with the V. Now I'm just telling you guys this how it is. I'm not mad about this. It's just a thing. So like, oh, I can actually see I can see the whiteness right there. I can. Let's see if I can scan it if I kind of hold it in the white there. Nope. It won't scan. But if you look, I have to get really close to the rock. And you can see, oh, there they pop. See, like, there was 3 of them there. I couldn't even tell that. And that's kind of one of the weird things that's going on with the scanning. And like I said, I'm just kind of telling you guys this. It doesn't bother me that it's like this. But it is something that's a little bit fishy, right? As far as... they're going to have to definitely get this fixed, I think, you know, before they should go, proper live. And you can see these are kind of dead rocks anyways. I'm not getting anything. Oh, the Arbor laser. All right, so we're going to tab out. We're going to keep looking around for things. I see another white circle right over here. All righty, and we'll go ahead and pull the mining laser out and see what's going on there. Definitely not Quantanium. We'll just keep on moving. So, and this is that spot, like I said, where you kind of want to kind of keep Arc L1 on your nose, so you know you're kind of not covering the same old ground a little bit. It's one of those things. I mean, spatially, I kind of do it this way, and that way I just kind of reset after every scan, look over at Arc L1, start heading in that direction, and then just kind of push forward. And the other thing is you don't fly right at the rocks, although you can't really tell where the rocks are at. See, normally I'd be able to V-scan here, right? But it's under 5,000, but normally I'd be able to V-scan here, but I can't because I can't see the rocks. They're there. But you can see, like, they've literally disappeared. There's not a white circle around them or anything. But when I get within 1,000 of them over here, they're gonna pop right up, and I can actually see them physically approaching me. I can see it. It's right there. You can see I have my marker right there on it, but I can't scan it right, at all. There it goes, finally. But if you've got to get within 700 or 800 of it anyways, you might as well just take the mining laser over there. And put it on there. That's just a P-type, so we're just going to keep moving. But anyways, yeah, I just thought I'd show you guys that. I'm not worried about it. It's just one of those things, you know, that they'll have to get addressed. Because it's definitely, the scanning mechanics, that's kind of wonky. You don't want to have to, you know, get a pip and then it doesn't matter. You have to fly up on it anyways, in order to get any kind of, you know, anything to do with, you know, with the scan results. So, yeah, it's cool. We'll keep moving forward here. Now, let's see. I am going to kind of crank in this thing to 179. I don't know why it says 179 on 180. And we're just going to kind of keep cruising along here until we find something in our cone. And, yeah, we like to cruise, you know, around 3, you know, there we go, 330, 340. That's fine. And we will continue this. Now, if we happen to find some Quantanium rocks, which we're going to go ahead and we're going to EVA out and we're going to throw some mining gadgets on them. This is the rented prospector. This is not going to be easy. I mean, this is going to be very difficult, you know, to break any kind of a decent rock. But we will monkey around with the you know, see if we can attach multiples, you know, and just kind of monkey around and maybe blow ourselves up. And if we do end up, you know, if we do blow ourselves up, we'll have a good laugh over it anyway. So that's, you know, anytime, you know, like I said, it's always good for the ratings to boom yourself. So Chris knows that. That's funny. All right, that's definitely, I don't know. Let's go ahead and at least pull. It's an M type, okay? Yeah, it's just like I said, you can see the scanning mechanics are a little wonky right now. So we'll keep on moving. Earlier, we did mine a full Unicorn 32 SCU of Quantanium out of here. Now we've returned with the rented prospector and a whole bunch of mining gadgets after a kind of a sideline trip over to Lyria where nothing would scan, no rock minables, and nothing had a hit marker. Not even rock, you know, regular, you know, mining rocks or whatever. So you can see there are 3 rocks right there. I see them floating towards me. But, you know, you can see you're literally within 1,000 before, so you might as well. Now, that's a P-type.
Mining mode on.
We are getting some scan results. Yeah, and I'm not even getting some composition scans here. We'll go ahead and hit this guy. I'm just kind of curious what's in it. Yeah, corundum, aluminum, diamond, baxillite. A little bit of this, a little bit of that. We'll keep on moving. Now, you know, if and you don't see it a whole lot. A lot of times in Air and Halo, you see 2% and high percentages. But if we find something that's Quantanium around like 10 or 15%, I'd definitely give that a try. You know, just because, you know, and a smaller mass rock would be great too. For sure. Like the closer to the 4,000 mass rock would be great. Yeah, so we'll just kind of go. That's an M type. We'll keep moving. Keeping the mining laser out this time. We'll just kind of fly by and see if the mining laser just, you know, and I won't aim right at them, but we'll just kind of keep it moving. Because we can't really get an advanced scan on them anyways. Oh, that looks like a couple of rocks approaching. Maybe 4. Just the 2. These are E-types. Oh, there was a couple more there. It looked like there was. Now the rented prospector, what you are always looking for is baxillite, laranite, terranite. Those are your money makers with the rented prospector. And you know, and obviously you really want a mass that's more down around 3,000 if you want to be efficient. Some borace in that one. Some more M types. We'll keep it moving. Wow, a lot of opportunities, though. A lot of opportunities. All right, we'll keep it real here. We'll keep flying towards these until we find some Quantanium rocks. These are Q types. Those are what we're looking for. That's a 2%er. What's this guy? Maybe a little better. Ah, just a 2%er. That's too bad. Yeah, a couple of 2%. What else is in them anyways? I'm kind of curious. Borace at 10. Beryl and quartz. Borace at 13%. Let's monkey with this. I know it's not necessarily a high percentage, but let's just monkey with this rock a little bit. I think this might be, you know, it's actually a fairly decent mass in the sense that it's a 4600 mass. 13% borace is not, you know, that's actually not bad. I mean, borace is actually a pretty good seller. Borace usually breaks up into trash, as you can imagine. I'm not expecting to get a whole lot out of this, but it also could be very helpful. First of all, I'll just kind of look around here. Now, the first thing we want to do is, and we'll go this way. First thing we want to do is find, you know, is put the sun in a way where we have good contrast, which is fine. This will work just fine. I don't think I can actually even break this right. We'll see. It's going to fall out, you know, and I could absolutely go out and... That instability, look at that at 4.5 is yucky. All right, so let's go ahead and... This is what we're going to do. We're going to head on out. We're going to EVA out. And I have a Sabir on. Let's go throw the Sabir on first. All right. Of course, we're right in the sun. Let's find a little nice spot here to... All right, so here we go. 4. I mean, you know, as far as space games go, this is not uncool. This is pretty awesome. Anyways, with that being said, I'm holding down F and I'm looking for place, but I'm not seeing place. That's strange. Yeah, normally you get a place icon right here, and I'm not seeing place at all. Hey, Geesley, how are you, sir? That is strange. Let me cycle it one more time. Yeah, I'm definitely not seeing place. This is what I was talking about earlier, you guys. You can kind of, you know, use this to kind of get yourself around a little bit. I bumped into it. All right, well, this is interesting. Here, we'll try it again. Yeah, detach, it's funny, is will light up, but I don't see place is normally like around here. It has been when I place the other gadgets. I don't know. Maybe it's the Sabir. So let's, here, I'll go in. We'll put this one away. We'll EVA, we'll go back into the prospector, and we will just grab a different. And see what happens. Oh, well. So, Philip, yeah, I choked up my coffee a little bit there. Philip and Drax says maybe get closer. I'll go try that real quick. I mean, I certainly am willing to try. I thought I was pretty close. But, I mean, I'll certainly give it a try real quick. Well, I'll never get used to how cool that is, though. I mean, that's, you know, what on earth? It's pretty amazing. Yeah, I'll fly around to the backside here, so, you know, my back's in the sun. And you may absolutely be right. I mean, I thought I was close, but let me just kind of bump into this guy. So, yeah, maybe I need to be, like, this close. Yeah, I'm just, you know, it's funny. You can see, like, if I hover my mouse over that part of it, I'm definitely not getting. I wonder. Not seeing a place marker anywhere. Yeah, you're right, 14. I definitely was. I'm almost choking to death on my coffee. It tastes so delicious. What if I put it inside the thing? Yeah, I don't know. Not having much luck with this part of it, you guys. I'm trying different areas to see if maybe there's just some way it... Out of curiosity, I'll fly over to this rock, too, for a second. And just see if it's kind of the same over here. Gotta do this kind of testing. It's always fun. It is. It's just normal coffee. You know, I can't remember the kind that it is. But yeah, I definitely put a little cream, a little sugar in it for sure. I like my coffee. Kinda. Yeah. I'm just not seeing the hit markers there. So I will grab a different gadget just to make sure it's not the gadget itself. Ace Hambone, how are you today? Nice to see you. Have you put toys on EVA rocks before, or is it? I haven't, Drac. This is the first time that I've tried to put a gadget on a rock in EVA. You know, I've successfully put them on the planet surface, but this is a first. Oh. Which way's up in space? I don't know. And we're gonna change. We will change that to a different one. I don't think it's actually the gadget. But you know what? We'll just go ahead and just, you know, we'll grab a different one just to see if it is something to do with. That's a pretty slick animation, I'll tell you that much. I like it. All right, so let's go ahead and we'll swap out this Sabir, and we'll throw a wave shift on there. And hold on. Let's look at the Optimax. The Optimax has instability negative 20%. Yeah, let's do that. I mean, that can at least be a little bit. We'll throw that on there. Silas Cutman says, aim the gadget with the right mouse button and then use the left mouse button to click it. You know, okay, I'll definitely give that a try. Thank you, Silas. Maybe, you know, I put the mining gadgets on lots of stuff on the surface side. You know, but I've never stuck one on the rocks out here. So with the right mouse button and then left mouse button to click it. Hey! I don't know. There we go. Well, that's kind of cool. That's just, you know, I was expecting to see like the place marker. Oh, maybe I needed to be further back away from it, you guys. Maybe that's what it was. That is really cool, Silas. Thank you for telling me that. Let me get this one. I'm actually going to put a couple on this one. So just because I have the rented prospector, let me see if I can get this guy kind of straightened around, right? So let's go ahead and take a look at this. Oh, it says place it on the gadget. It's like it hasn't gone into that mode. You see how it says place it on the gadget? It didn't, here, I'll grab it. Oh yeah, place. Oh, okay, so that's what it is. I have to be further back. You know, it wasn't that I was too close or I wasn't far enough back. That's really weird. Okay, well that's something, you know what, Silas, so thank you for that. That was awesome. That was a good tip. And I didn't even think about being further back. That's really fantastic. So we got a 50%. Let's go ahead and crank. Oh, no, we seen where that was getting there. 60. Let's go to the axial scatter from 60. .98 is about the highest we've ever seen it. All right, so that gadget's attached. Cool. And notice I put it on the backside of the rock, you guys. I am going to go grab a Sabir as well, just because I'm curious. We have the rented prospector here. So what we're trying to do is use the rented prospector. Now, this is a 2% Quantanium rock. It's nothing out of control. And it also has, like, I think around 15 or 14% borase. Hitbox reg issues are rampant. Yeah, Junk, that's exactly right. For sure. And you know, and Rambo Man says you're testing for the devs. It's true. I mean, this testing is important. You know, and feedback's important, and people who are in the mining community will appreciate it as well. So let's go ahead and do it one more time. That's cool that we learned this. And Silas, I credit you 100% for helping with that. That is for sure. That's funny. Let's go ahead and put this Sabir. Let's equip that. We're going to head back out and throw the Sabir on here as well. I'm just kind of, you know, I do... Well, I mean, we can at least, before we do that, let's at least try it one time. Just for kind of funsies.
Mining mode on. Mining mode off.
We'll loosen up the laser just a touch. I seem to be kind of not centered, you guys. Hold on. Something's a little fishy. There we go. Alright, let's crank this guy up and see how we do. You can see the instability did go down some. And the resistance looks like it's gone up some, so... We'll see if we can build some energy into this guy or not. Definitely fell out. Obviously, we know we can agitate and probably, you know, build some energy into it. But I don't want to do that real quick, so no problem. This is the rented prospector, and it's the Arbor laser. So, you know, we're just out here for just doing some testing. So let's go ahead and throw. We notice the resistance is up a touch. What have I thrown on here? I think I threw the instability guy on there, right? The Sabir. That's negative 75% instability. which is the worst of it. But then I also, you know, potentially would throw a Bormax on there for the negative 75% resistance as well. So, well, let's just go out and toss this one on here as well. We're just having some fun out here today. So, you know, and we're just trying to see if we could break this 2% Quantanium rock down. You know, even a little bit of Quantanium's worth, you know, worth some money. But this is more just us having some fun, kind of learning the meta. Super Soak is asking, what are the frames looking like out here? Good question. Let's take a look. I'm getting around 50, 48, 49, 50 out here right now. All right, so let's pull this guy out. What? There we are. I know it seems crazy, but you have to be kind of way out here to... I'll even get further back. All right, so we'll do that thing that we did before, which is hold this and do this. And that's where it kind of ended up, but it wouldn't actually turn on there. So now I'll grab it, and I know kind of where the area is though. So now I'll grab it, and now I know if I kind of scooch in here a little bit, the place is like right around there. Yeah, so it kind of teaches you where the hitbox is by... Oh, I don't know here. Probably wasn't a flat enough spot, maybe. What on earth? Okay. That was awesome. See if I can grab it. Oh, there it was. It's over here. All right, we'll grab it, and now we'll place it. Sure. Bang. All right, now she's activating. Now we can come in here and let's turn off our... Cool. Monkey with the axial scatter first. Field range. Back to the axial. Oh, I'll take 94. Cool. All right, we stuck that one on there as well. Ah, Redemption says he's a runaway in ultra wide though. Your experience may vary. That's true. Surprised there's a lot going on. Yeah, I mean, the frames aren't too bad. I know that they're starting to offload some of the stuff to Vulcan. I don't know that it's, you know, how much of that's there. I watched 10 Pound 42. You know, he does really good testing stuff, and you know, he talked about it a little bit of a frame bump for sure. I love that animation. That's slick. Redemption, how are you doing today, man? Good to see you. Andreas says, I hope you all have your refining jobs cleared. SIG is sending out 3.71 emails. It's approaching Quint. Oh, no. Yeah, so we're out here in the rented... Earlier in the stream today, I took a full 32 SCU on a normal mining run out of the Halo. We're out here with the rented prospector right now, monkeying around with these gadgets. And you can see the instability's gone down significantly. But you can see my resistance is still really high. So that resistance is going to keep me from being able to use this. So I have a couple of options. I actually can do the wave shift, or I could do the bore max. And I think the bore max is probably going to be the next one that I would put on there for sure. Because this arbor just can't crack this 4631 mass rock. All right. One more for the road. And that's what I was just kind of curious if there was some kind of a meta where you could crack some of these. Now, I'm not doing a high instability rock. This is just kind of for some testing. So let's go ahead. We'll do a bore max this time. We'll equip that. This is going to take care of that, the resistance. It's a negative 75% on the resistance. So it's going to bring it down to more, into the teens or whatever. And this is we'll try this one as well. So out we go. We'll attach one more mining gadget. I should grab a screenshot too. Well, here, let's see. R tab 0. That looks like a nice screenshot. Print screen. All right, so here we go again. Okay. Yeah, notice what I'm doing is what Silas suggested earlier is I'm holding down left and right clicking, and that's doing is kind of telling me where the hitbox is, because it's just kind of loading it wherever. It's finding the hitbox for me. Then I'm coming up here and I'm going to grab the thing. And then you can see I can actually I'll have place all the way back here. But it's like this weird line. So then if okay. What? Then it finds its way to then it finds its way to where I should put it. This is awesome. And then, it's a little bit of cat and mouse here. Then I will place again. We'll want to find some place that's kind of, there we go. I like that. Love it. All right, now we're sticking the bore max on there. Oh, yeah, that's just funny right there, you guys. That's... you gotta love it. We love our job here on the channel. All right, so bring the scatter back just a touch. Oh, interesting. Okay, so we're at 94. I'll just take the 94. I won't worry about it too much. All right, so we've got 3 on there. Let me do this just for funsies. Take another screenshot. And around we go. Yeah, it's definitely its own little mini game. Just there, you kind of throw, like the hit markers are really in a kind of a funny place with that particular thing, but that's okay. I mean, it works. Works itself out eventually. Yeah. Oh yeah. It's got like a throw. It did have like the throwing angle, like the grenades. That's a very good point. So. Yeah. I mean, I can be. Yeah. It's just a little weird. I'm not exactly sure. So I'm not gonna worry about it. I got him on there. So. Now we should see the resistance drop down here. You see how? Yep. Now and the instability is actually in a reasonable place too. So now we should be able to with a 0.14 instability. Look at that. This is interesting. So that's right off the bat in a better place. We put the 3 laser, we put them on there. That's a very manageable instability. That's a very manageable resistance. So now we've got the Arbor mining laser, you know, on something that we know could absolutely not touch before with this rented prospector. And we're, you know, we definitely want it. We're cooking the rock now, no problem with that 0.14 resistance. You know, and we're just going to kind of, in a 0.92 instability, that's not unmanageable. That's very manageable. So I'm going to kind of get ready for it to kind of creep up into the optimal. You can see me rolling back a little bit. It just bumped into the optimal now. A 0.91 is very manageable. Look at, I'm kind of keeping it right around the edge there. Now the question is are we going to be able to recover them? Number one. Number two, how many of them can we recover? And number three, whether or not we can apply them to the broken down sizes. And that's kind of the interesting thing there. Because we absolutely can manage this break. You know, 0.91 instability is an easy instability to manage. It's not bad at all. We have enough optimal window there for sure. Rented prospector. Smashing down hard here. There we go. I'll take it. Now. Oh, look at, you can see the lights glowing on them, you guys. So it looks like they're recoverable. I think that's the lights glowing for those things, maybe. I don't know. Anyways, yeah, that was an easy break. Why is the PT for anyone wanting to? Cool. Clement says, "Is there a maximum mining gadget you can put on the rock?" I put 3 on that one. I mean, I think it's, you know, obviously you're eating into your cost if you can't recover them, right? I think that's really kind of the main thing. You know, I probably put 30,000 AUEC worth of mining gadgets on there, maybe more. But other than that, I mean, you know, it's, you know, and of course, with the rented prospector, you may not have the kind of money you want to do this with, but it's just for fun. You know, we're just enjoying ourselves. Now we're going to see which, you know, whether or not we can recover those. And I can see a light flashing on one of them right over there right now. So let's go ahead and grab that. Oh, yeah, look, you guys, this is fun. Yeah, I can see it right there. Hey. All right, we'll put this one, we'll take this one over to the ship and put that one away. Good stuff on the stream today. A rented prospector breaking, you know, any kind of a rock is, you know, that's good stuff. I like it. All right. We'll kind of slide on in here. We'll hit I. And we will put this guy right back in the inventory here. Bang. And we'll go grab the other ones. Now I probably will look at the rocks to see which one I want to try and do a secondary break on. That's a weird light. Look at that way off in the distance, you guys. Huh. Anyways, I just noticed that. I definitely see some more red flashes over this way. This is very smart of them to put the... That's cool. So let me just recover this guy if I can. Oh, it's upside down, so it's on this. Nope, it's not. All right, we'll do that. All right, we got that one. That's the Bohr Max recovered. I'm not going to tell you this isn't fun. I'll tell you that much. I know it's kind of weird, EVA out, EVA out and stuff. But it is strangely just, it's just fun. I mean, I'm enjoying it. I'm not going to tell you I'm not enjoying it. I'll never get, that animation's fire when you get back into the ship too, by the way. It's cool. Alright, well, we recovered that one. I didn't see where the other one is potentially. I'm going to jump into Mining Laser here, though, for a second and do a little scanning. And see which rock here would be the one that I, would want to crack here. So, let's take a look at that.
Mining mode on.
So this is going to be a little bit of borase. That's a 12% borase in there. Ooh, this is probably the... Look at that. 22% borase right there, and that's probably the one right there. We'll take a look, though, at all of them. 6% Quantanium in that one. Oh, this is going to have some stuff in it, too. There's another 20... Oh, 4. Yeah, so there's a couple worth breaking here. That's got 25% borase in it. I mean, these borase rocks are good to break down, for sure. That one's kind of nothing. And that one's nothing. Okay, so we know that one there's got some borase in it. That one, oh, there was this one over here too. Oh yeah, that's the other big rock. So this rock, and this rock. Now here's the borase one. Look, you guys, I could just break that one. I'm not going to break any, though. I want to recover my other thing first. So I know it's the bottom three, just kind of for, keeping a mental note. It's the bottom three that I want to, yeah. Doe says, cue the space oddity music. You're absolutely right. Andrea says, I saw someone on YT putting 28 on a rock. It blew up instantly. Oh my gosh. That is hilarious. Hadn't seen that. Yeah, the space oddity music is definitely, I 100% agree with that. So we are going to look around here. We are looking for one more device that we dropped. And to see if we can see it. We'll go ahead and turn around. We'll come out here to the sun. Turn around and see if we see any lights. Or see if we see it. Now, the one thing, the light, I don't think the light goes all the way around it. It's just kind of one to one side. And I think we got lucky on a couple of those breaks. That it was just the light was happened to be facing the right direction. And I'm not saying it's not out here. Pyro, you might be able to. Somebody mentioned you could put them in backpacks. I don't think I brought a big enough backpack. I might have need like the Pembroke size backpack. It's a good question and one I should actually absolutely look into. It would make far more sense to just kind of do it that way than the way that I've done it. Absolutely. I actually at first didn't think it was a thing, but then someone in the chat said, no, it's a thing. You can do it. So, interesting. So I don't see the other one. Do I have one on my back? Did I put one on my back here? Well, that was silly of me. Well, I thought I was going to recover, though. That's why. All right. Well, we don't see... We recovered 2 of the 3. Good thing to know. Man, I'll never... This is so fun. Silas, multiple can be placed inside the backpack, but the one you want to use needs to be equipped in the external location. Yeah, there we go. That's a... Thank you for answering that, Silas. I hadn't messed around with the backpacks. I probably should figure out which backpack I could carry a couple of them in and then just equip them as I need them. So... Let's take a look one more time at... I'm just going to pick one of these rocks, specific rocks, to crack. And it's one of these ones along the bottom. Hey, Dragon Master, how are you today? Do you think at some point things like the Prospector might get a chance to upgrade cargo capacity? I hope so. I hope that there's ways that you could kind of like take some of the weight off or modify them in a certain way. I don't know if that will be a thing, but I hope it's a thing. So that's a 4.55. That one was you could just crack with, I think, without it. This is the 6.83. It's this one here that I'm going to point at. that that's 22% borates, and 7% of that is. And that's actually not a little bit of. So it's that one, and it's this one that have the Quantanium in them, and the instability. I'm not so worried about the resistance side of things, because I'm sure I can put enough. The mass is so little, I can put. Yeah, I can build energy. So it's the instability that I have to worry about with those. So, all right. So I understand kind of where I'm at with that. It's instability that I'm dealing with. So it's definitely the Sabirs, which is what I brought lots of. Ooh. Oh, it says too large for the backpack. No. All right, so we'll equip a Sabir. We will exit out. And we will throw a Sabir on one, come back and get another Sabir, and put it on another. And I'm not going to worry about the second recover. I don't even know if you can put it on the secondary brakes. I think you can. Now let me go out here to this side of things. It's this rock that the prospector is pointing at. Yes, absolutely. Cool. Alright, now we're going to try and place it on the secondary rock. And I don't know if it's a thing or not. Kind of follow the same meta we were before. Yeah. See, I've got to kind of... I don't know where the hitbox is, so you kind of just place it, and then it will actually kind of tell you where, you know, where it wants to be. And then you can pick it up. This is the way it's worked for me so far. I'll grab it now. And now I can go place. And it will make like a spot. Let's just do it over here. And it kind of heaves it over there. And it found a spot that it likes. Okay. And then I'll never get over this, you guys. This is just funny to me. Oh, okay. I don't care. I'll just turn around and spin around here. All right, now I'll pick it up again. Now I'll grab it. And now I'll place it. Yeah, right there. That's what I want. Perfect. So, yeah, you can stick it on the secondary rocks. Which is kind of fun. I didn't know if that was going to be a thing or not. Which really means, you know, I mean, this is going to be pretty crazy. You're going to be able to, you really are going to be able to use the rented prospector if you want. I think that's basically what this means. You might have to attach multiple. All right, we're going to grab the propagation here. I did get to 93, right? How about the axial? And field range. See if I can get a little higher. Nope, I'll take it, whatever. Boom. All right, so we know that rock for sure.